And I'm going to make sure we're actually on Facebook because once in a while it gets disconnected. Okay, we are good to go. Excellent. All right. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and get started. Welcome everybody to Westy Live. My name is Jamie Chavez. I'm the president and CEO of the Westminster Chamber of Commerce. And every Wednesday we bring to you a live broadcast featuring one of our newest chamber members to introduce them and give them a chance to talk about their business. So if you are new to the broadcast, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Excuse me. I encourage you to like our Facebook page and follow us. If you're on YouTube, you can hit subscribe and explore all of our previous broadcasts there as well. We also offer broadcasts on Mondays, which are dedicated to city updates from our mayor, mayor pro tem, and city council and other city staff as well. And then on one Friday a month, we reserve for county updates from Adams County and Jefferson County commissioners. So stay tuned for those as well for broader county matters. And as you watch the broadcast this morning, we encourage you to engage with us, drop your comments, ask any questions, or just say hello in the comment section, and we will be sure to get to those during the interview. So now finally a warm welcome to Brian Stanley with Photos by Brian. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I appreciate this very much.
Yeah, so tell us about, well, we'll get into a lot of different things, but tell us about Photos by Brian and how you got started and what your business is.
All right. Well, and it's grown. So not only do I have Photos by Brian that was more high school sports stuff, engagements, family shoots, and senior portraits, I now also have Brian Stanley Photography, which is more of the commercial side. And it is more to help out businesses for any of their needs. Content is always big anymore, but website information, anything that they need, such as that. Why I went to that side was there was a need, because even though there's a lot of people out there saying, oh, we make content, we'll do this, we'll do that. What I'm learning and seeing as a photographer, the content didn't really match what the customer needed. It wasn't anything that it showed off their company, but it was kind of a, okay. It's just an okay,
Yeah.
There was no wow factors to it. There was nothing to help them bring. And if you're doing content, you need to bring people into their business. You need to, when they see the website and they see that first picture, it's a wow picture. It's like, or video, I want to click this. I want to know more.
Right.
And I didn't see a lot of that. There is some good people out there that are doing it, but there's a lot that aren't. And then I realized that there's some small companies that are like, oh, I can't afford that stuff. That's way too over our head. What we have is good enough. And those three words are like a knife for anyone that does this, because if you're a business person, good enough should only be good enough. If you're saying, when you say it's good enough, you should be saying, oh, I have so much business, I really don't need any more.
Yeah.
Because it's good. So whatever I have is good enough, because this is just overwhelming. I don't know if there's any business out there that's like that. So,
right. Yeah.
But what they don't realize is that you don't have to do everything. Just a few things that change it to help you bring more customers in. And so that's what Brian Stanley Photography does. I actually have a team that we shoot both print and video, and even drone work. So we can make full-blown ads, like for Ford, which is, look on my website, you'll see that. Or we can do small little content that you just briefs that you're going to put on Instagram or something to promote yourself, or just on your website, just to have something there. So it's a variety of stuff. My editors are awesome. I used to be able to do editing too, and when I got these guys, I was like, I am never doing editing again.
You know, it's definitely the most, I would say probably time consuming part.
Yeah, well, what they can do in an hour and a half takes me 3.5, and then I look at it and go, okay, mine's all right, but theirs is so much better. Now,
Yeah.
on the print side of just doing pit photos, I've done that for so long that I don't let anyone do it. I just do it myself because
Mhm.
I can get through it really quick. But on that video side, patching in and out and cutting stuff, these guys are good. These guys are
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
So I just let them do it.
Well, I've posted your website so people can
Okay.
have an opportunity to click on that and check out your work.
Okay.
But it sounds like you're very much in both the business to business and business to consumer space. Um,
Yes.
yeah,
And
but
and
maybe
and
go ahead, sir.
oh, I was going to say, and the business to consumer is there, and it's always been working. So we're trying to put emphasis on, and one of the reasons I joined the chambers was to get connected to these businesses, to let them know that there's somebody out there that is willing to work with them and work within the budget that they have.
Well, let's talk about what that process looks like and maybe what type of budget that is for a project. If you've got a smaller business that comes to you and maybe they want to work on something, what is the process for sitting down and figuring out what they're looking for and developing that, that pricing for them?
Well, the first thing is, and I actually put it out there on the business to business deals, is a free consultation.
Okay.
We're going to come in and we want to look at your website. We're not there to redesign a website. We're there to see what your content is on your website. We're there to see what kind of marketing have you done. Or if you just send out flyers to people, if you just posted on Instagram, where have you spent your money, and how well has that worked for you?
Okay.
So once we have that, then we turn around and try to come up with some creative ideas with them of where can we make this better. If you and your friend did a video, then that's an easy one. Maybe we need to redo the video. And I actually had a small company, boat company, that did a lot of their own stuff, and once they saw one thing I did for them, now we're doing everything, because
Yeah.
it is your image that you're trying to place, and you want to give good vibes to that. So we'll give a lot of recommendations. Now, what that is in price, that's hard to say, because it depends on how much we're doing. Are we doing just print stuff for your website? Are we doing, and how many photos are we doing there? And one, I can tell you, when it comes to that, people overload their websites with photos too much. If you look on my Brian Stanley photography, it has 40 epic photos on it. No more. Do I
Yeah.
have more? I have a whole bunch laying down here that I did, but they're not used for that. They're used for other things, because no one goes through more than that. Matter of fact, they probably don't even go through those 40. So they're looking at the top 10, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, and you put a bad photo up there, that's all they remember is your bad photo. They judge you on the photos that you have, and you're like, ooh, that one's not that great. And
Yeah.
you're like, well, wait a minute, what about the other 39 that were really good? So why didn't you? Those are types of things we try to educate them on.
Okay. Awesome.
And then it just depends on how long a video, what type of video are we doing? Are we doing a full-blown ad that's going on TV? Are we doing short stuff that's going on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube that they want to do? Or is it print ads that we're doing, that we're publishing for them, or they're going to publish themselves? So all that varies. Sometimes it's a combination of those things, and we can go from there.
Awesome. And how long does it usually take to get to a finished product? If it's like internet content or website, what would you say that timeline looks like?
The timeline from, usually it's a 1 day and I say day, it could be just a few hours, depending on how much we're doing. Day of the shoot, and then from there, it's usually about 4 or 5 days, maybe just depending on when we shot. If we shoot on a Thursday, my videographers, because I got to go through it first, might not get it till Monday, and then they get it back to me that Friday.
Got it. Okay. So pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, it's pretty quick turnaround. If we have questions involved, then it might take an extra day or so because we want to make sure it's right. We're doing that right now. We shot a golf instructor, and there was so much content, and them talking was so much, and they kept changing that we had to just say enough. And matter of fact, we're meeting today to sit there and go, okay, we have great content, but we need to do a voiceover so that we get this to look smooth, and you're not going to talk about everything. We're not here to talk. The ad is not to talk about everything. It's just to get their attention.
Got it.
So we're going to narrow it down today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think, other than the fact that you are jumping more heavily into this business to business area and the content creation, what do you think sets your photography apart from others in the area who are doing similar things?
The point that we take the time to listen to what our clients want. We make recommendations on what they want. And sometimes they don't know what they want, and they admit that, or sometimes they have an idea, and their idea is good, but the direction they want to go with it might not be beneficial to them. And we just have to explain that. I think a lot of times other companies just want, okay, that's your idea, we'll go with it, here you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to work, and then they're not happy because they really realize afterwards it didn't work, and if they would have just maybe tweaked that idea just a touch, it would have been a lot better for them. So the biggest thing I can say is that we listen to what you want. We come up with ideas. We are not going to start a shoot until everyone is on the same page of what's going to happen.
Got it. Do you have a favorite project or photo session that's really stood out to you?
Doing the Ford ad that's on my site was one of them. So that one stands out on the commercial side. On the consumer side, it's all the stuff I've done with the high schools and their sports, because all that was smoke and snow and gelled lights and all this fancy stuff to create just some cool images with the sports stuff. So
yeah.
So between the two,
that's definitely an area where you stand out. I've seen kind of a shift towards photos like that, especially for athletes.
Yes.
Yeah, you've done a really good job there. So
yeah, I appreciate that. I've done that for now 7 years, and I can say I'm one of the few that actually do it, and probably the only one in Colorado that does it at the level that I do it at. So and there's still schools and people that don't know that I do it. So every year I bring on some more, but there's only so many schools I can do in a year. So
yeah, definitely.
Yep.
How do you say, how long have you been a photographer?
Well, pretty much since high school. I started in high school. I started with the film stuff. Used to take small cameras up when we were skied in high school and lay underneath the jumps and try to get these great photos. And then I kind of got away from it as I got older with the film. I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay with it. And then digital came out, and I really excelled probably the last 15 years with the digital stuff. And I loved it because you weren't wasting film and money to print it. So to find out you had only 2 good photos. Now with digital, you
changed the game for sure.
It was a game changer. So now you sit there and look at them and go, nope, where are you shooting right now? We don't have to redo it.
Yeah. So. Well, Parker, that's Parker Brown. If you haven't met Parker, he's the chairman of the Westminster Chamber, and he also runs and operates Carrabba's Italian Grill. But anyway, he says, I just watched the Ford video from the website. That's very awesome.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. So,
Well, since you've been doing this for so long, what would you say? How do you stay inspired and creative, and what pushes you to keep trying these innovative photography techniques?
that's easy. That's the easy part, really. I mean, it's a goal every time you step into with the customer of what can I create, and sometimes I have to back out of it just a little bit because sometimes I want to go over the top,
Yeah,
more than what we should. And but that's probably the easiest part of my job is to sit there and come up with something creative for everybody that we do. No matter if it's a surprise engagement shoot, I want to do this a little bit different than I did the last one. Um, and that's probably because I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again that looks exactly the same. It's becomes boring, and um, that's not again what we're about. We want something that stands out. We want that wow factor with everything that we do, and not just one wow picture, but multiple wow pictures to entice, either the consumer loving what they got or the business getting clients in because of what we shot.
yeah, absolutely. So you are, I guess a big question I know people will have is what advice you would give to somebody that's getting their photos done professionally for the first time. And that can be in the, family photos, or that can be in the business realm, which you've been talking about.
Ask questions. Don't and the biggest one is don't settle just the cheapest one. That's all we're going to do. And that doesn't matter what side of the fence it is. It doesn't have to be the most expensive person. It doesn't have to be, but it's not always the cheapest person either.
Yeah.
You get, when they say you get what you pay for, a lot of times that is. So that would be the biggest thing I would tell everybody right off the bat.
Well, I think especially in photography, being particular about who you use is important.
Yeah. You got to feel comfortable about the person. Even if you're a family or solo portrait out there, you got to be comfortable that you're in with that person that's taking the pictures for you. If you're not feeling comfortable, it's going to show in the photos.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh.
And do you do any collaborations with other local businesses or nonprofits?
I've been trying to work with both, with the chamber here. I've done a few small nonprofits where I've just went in. Sorry, can't think of the one right off the top of my head that I just did. But they raised money for kids overseas and for their education and stuff. And they had a fundraiser at Highland Hills putt-putt golf thing. So I went over there and shot that. And, the first thing they said is, how much is it going to be? And it was like, nothing. Just, here you go. There's points in my life that you don't need to charge a dime for every single thing that you do.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you've done some work for the chamber. We had you at it was the Taste of Westminster,
Taste of Colorado.
Right?
Yeah. Not Colorado, Taste of Westminster. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we had people from all over Colorado, so that works. Yeah. And those photos were fantastic. We posted some of those on our website and Instagram and social medias, and so people have gotten to see your photography there. But what do you have coming up next? Do you have anything exciting coming up that you're any promotions or projects that you're working on?
I'm working on for a boat company right now. But I'm looking to do some more content stuff in Miami, which will be awesome. But other than that, no, I'm kind of in that time frame right now that we're, some of the big companies that we do some work for are just now getting their budgets going. So we'll be trying to get some of that, but just really pushing. I'm literally trying to push more local than traveling all over the place.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, Philip Romero's joined us. Thanks for joining, Philip. He says the videos on the website are fantastic. Well done.
Thank you.
And then we've got a question from Dave. Thanks for joining us, Dave. Are you using AI tools to assist you in modifying photos? Some that I've seen have been amazing.
Yes and no. There's when you talk about AI, when I want to eliminate something in a background, but I need that background to look finish looking like it's part of the background, AI does a very good job with that. I do not use AI on people. For the most part, I mean, there's still some people say just taking blemishes off. We've been doing that for years. That's not really AI. But when I'm trying to get rid of backgrounds or something, sometimes instead of just wiping it out and hope it fills in correctly, AI does a really good job about filling it in.
Awesome. Great. Well, how can people reach out to you to either connect or book a session or get the consultation that you mentioned before? What's your preferred method?
Either way, you can go to brianstanleyphotography.com or photosbybrian.net, either one. And you can reach out to me just on my cell phone. I carry it everywhere. So trust me, if you want to get hold of me, that's the best way. And that is 303-827-5272.
5272. Okay, great. I will say that one more time.
303-827-5272.
Perfect. All right. Well, we've got both of those up for people to access. And I certainly look forward to working more with you. I have some things in mind for our upcoming gala. I'd like to get away from just being my voice for the entire 2 hours or however long it is. It'd be good to have some videos to show and highlight some businesses. So yeah, well, I appreciate you coming on today. Is there anything else? We do have a few minutes left. If there's anything else you'd like people to know.
No, reach out to me. Let me see if I can help you. The worst that's going to happen is we're going to become friends and we're going to know each other, and we go from there.
Cool.
Sounds
good.
All right.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks again, Brian.
You bet. Have a good day.
Thanks everyone who joined, and have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.